Welcome back to the channel, where old coins reveal incredible stories and hidden fortunes. In today's episode, we are exploring four of the most valuable and expensive George Washington $quarter old coins ever discovered. Some of these quarters may look dirty, worn, scratched, or completely ordinary, yet certain examples have sold for astonishing amounts because of their rarity, unique minting characteristics, and exceptional collector demand. Stay with us as we uncover the history, hidden value, and remarkable secrets behind these fascinating coins that continue to captivate collectors around the world. Let's get started. First up in the 1973 Denver Mint Washington quarter. At first glance, a very dirty and heavily circulated example may appear to have little or no value, yet appearances can be remarkably deceptive in the world of numismatics. Some collectors have discovered that ordinary-looking quarters from this year can possess characteristics that dramatically increase their desirability and market value. Throughout this video, we will uncover the remarkable history, surprising rarity, impressive auction records, and collector demand surrounding the 1973 Washington quarter, revealing why this seemingly common coin continues to attract attention from experienced collectors across the country. The 1973 Washington quarter represents an important chapter in the long-running Washington Quarter series, a collection that has fascinated generations of collectors since its introduction in 1932. Although millions of quarters were struck at the Denver Mint during 1973, the overwhelming majority entered everyday circulation almost immediately, where they spent decades changing hands in stores, banks, vending machines, and cash registers. Because of this extensive circulation, many surviving examples now appear extremely dirty, stained, scratched, and worn. Ironically, these neglected coins often encourage collectors to inspect them more carefully, because hidden among ordinary circulated pieces are examples featuring exceptional strikes, fascinating mint errors, or remarkable preservation beneath accumulated dirt and natural tunning. The excitement of discovering one of these overlooked treasures continues to fuel interest in the 1973 Washington quarter decades after it was first released. The year 1973 reflected an interesting period in United States history, with the nation experiencing economic uncertainty, inflation, and significant social changes. The Denver Mint continued producing vast numbers of circulating coinage to satisfy commercial demand as Americans relied heavily on cash for daily transactions. Every 1973 Washington quarter left the mint composed of a copper core covered by outer layers of copper and nickel, following the clad composition introduced after the removal of silver from circulating quarters in 1965. Although these quarters were produced for everyday commerce rather than collectors, few people imagined that decades later numismatists would carefully examine these same coins in search of rare die varieties, striking errors, and exceptionally preserved examples capable of commanding substantial prices at major auctions. The artistic design of the 1973 Washington quarter remains one of the most recognizable in American coinage. The obverse displays the distinguished portrait of President George Washington designed by sculptor John Flanagan, accompanied by the inscriptions "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date 1973. Just to the right of the date appears the small Denver Mint mark, identifying its place of manufacture. The reverse showcases a majestic eagle with wings spread proudly while perched upon a bundle of arrows, symbolizing military strength, surrounded by olive branches representing peace. Above the eagle appears United States of America, while below is the denomination $quarter, with the national motto EPLUBUSUNUM, completing the classic design. Even on very dirty examples, these details continue to display the craftsmanship that has made the Washington quarter one of the most admired circulating coins in American history. Although the 1973 Washington quarter is not considered rare in lower circulated grades, genuine rarity begins to emerge in exceptional condition and among coins displaying important minting abnormalities. Most examples encountered today exhibit heavy wear, faded surfaces, numerous contact marks, and years of accumulated dirt that significantly reduce their eye appeal. However, coins retaining strong original detail, sharp strikes, attractive natural luster beneath tunning, or certified high mint state grades become increasingly difficult to locate. Specialists also search carefully for double dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and other legitimate mint errors that can transform an otherwise ordinary quarter into a highly desirable collectible worth many times its face value. Survival in premium condition remains surprisingly limited because relatively few collectors saved pristine examples when these coins first entered circulation. Collector demand for the 1973 Washington quarter continues to remain strong because it occupies an important position within the long-running Washington quarter series. Completing a high-quality date and mint collection requires obtaining attractive examples from every year and every mint, making the Denver issue an essential component for serious collectors. Interest becomes even stronger whenever a certified high-grade specimen or dramatic mint error appears on the market, creating spirited competition among collectors seeking registry-quality collections. Many enthusiasts appreciate the challenge of searching through old coin jars, inherited collections, estate sales, bank rolls, and dealer inventories, hoping to uncover an overlooked 1973 quarter that escaped careful examination for decades. This constant possibility of discovery keeps demand healthy and maintains the coin's enduring popularity among both experienced numismatists and newcomers entering the hobby. Current market values for the 1973 Washington quarter vary tremendously depending upon condition, eye appeal, certification, and the presence of significant mint errors. A very dirty, heavily circulated example with ordinary wear generally carries a value close to its face value of 25 cents, although collectors may willingly pay around $1 to $3 for attractive circulated pieces needed to complete album collections. Examples grading about uncirculated can often sell for approximately $5 to $20 depending upon surface quality and remaining luster. Certified mint state examples frequently range from $50 into several $100s, while superb gem mint state coins with outstanding strikes and exceptional preservation have realized prices reaching several $1,000s at major auctions. Rare mint era varieties featuring dramatic doubling, significant off-center strikes, or other highly desirable production mistakes can also command hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending upon their rarity, authenticity, and overall visual appeal. Anyone searching for valuable 1973 Washington quarters should pay close attention to every coin regardless of how dirty or unattractive it may initially appear. Dirt, tunning, and decades of circulation can conceal surprisingly sharp details beneath the surface, making careful inspection essential before dismissing any example. Collectors should examine the mint mark, lettering, date, rim, and design elements under adequate magnification while searching for evidence of double dies, repunched features, die cracks, or striking abnormalities. Professional grading by respected certification services can significantly increase buyer confidence and market value for exceptional examples, especially those believed to grade at the highest mint state levels or displaying important mint errors. Valuable opportunities continue to appear in inherited collections, estate accumulations, local coin shops, flea markets, coin shows, and unopened bank rolls where overlooked treasures occasionally remain hidden. The story of the 1973 Washington quarter demonstrates that extraordinary value is not always obvious at first glance. A coin covered with dirt, scratches, and years of circulation may still possess remarkable historical significance, impressive collector demand, or rare characteristics capable of transforming it into a prized collectible. Its connection to an important era in United States coinage, its timeless artistic design, its role within one of America's most collected coin series, and the possibility of discovering valuable high-grade or era examples ensure that this quarter remains an enduring favorite among collectors. Whether admired for its history, pursued for its investment potential, or appreciated simply as a reminder that hidden treasures can still be found in ordinary places. The 1973 Denver Mint Washington quarter continues to prove that even the most neglected coin can tell an extraordinary story. Next up in the 1990 Washington quarter dollar with the Philadelphia P mint mark is one of those fascinating American coins that many people spend without a second thought. Yet under the right circumstances, it can become a remarkably valuable collectible worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. At first glance, a scratched and naturally toned example appears ordinary, carrying the scars of decades in circulation. Those marks often convince people that the coin has little or no collector value. However, experienced numismatists understand that appearance alone never tells the complete story. Hidden beneath years of circulation could be an elusive die variety, a dramatic mint error, or an exceptionally well-preserved strike that escaped notice for decades. Stories of seemingly common quarters transforming into prized collectibles continue to fuel the excitement of coin collecting, making the 1990 Philadelphia issue one of the modern Washington quarters that deserves far closer examination than most people ever imagine. The year 1990 marked an important period in United States history. The nation was experiencing significant economic and political change as the decade of the 1990s began. Technological innovation was accelerating, the Cold War was drawing to a close, and Americans were witnessing rapid changes that would shape the modern era. During this period, the United States Mint continued producing enormous quantities of circulating coinage to satisfy everyday commercial demand. Millions of quarters passed through banks, businesses, and cash registers every single day. Few people paused to examine the new coins entering circulation because they were simply tools for commerce. Ironically, that everyday use is precisely what makes surviving high-quality examples far scarcer today than the original production numbers might suggest, especially when collectors search for coins with exceptional surfaces and superior strikes. The Washington Quarter series itself has one of the richest histories in American numismatics. Introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the coin quickly became a permanent part of United States circulation after replacing the standing Liberty quarter. The original design was created by renowned sculptor John Flanagan, whose portrait of Washington became one of the most recognizable images ever placed on American coinage. By 1990, the design had remained largely unchanged for nearly 6 decades, creating a continuous historical link between generations of Americans. Every quarter represented both a practical piece of everyday currency and a small work of national art celebrating the country's first president. The obverse of the 1990 Washington Quarter displays George Washington facing left with calm dignity, surrounded by the inscriptions "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date 1990. The reverse features a powerful American eagle with outstretched wings perched upon a bundle of arrows, framed below by olive branches symbolizing peace through strength. Above the eagle appears United States of America, while quarter dollar is positioned below. Coins struck for circulation in 1990 were composed of a copper core bonded between outer layers of copper nickel, measuring 24.3 millimeters in diameter and weighing approximately 5.67 grams. Although millions handled these coins daily, relatively few noticed the remarkable precision required to manufacture each individual quarter with consistent detail. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 613.8 million Washington quarters dated 1990. At first glance, that enormous production figure suggests the coin should never become valuable, yet seasoned collectors know that mintage numbers alone rarely determine rarity. The overwhelming majority of these quarters entered heavy circulation almost immediately, accumulating scratches, contact marks, weak strikes, environmental damage, and countless other forms of wear. Very few examples were carefully preserved from the day they were issued. Even fewer survived with exceptional luster, sharply defined details, and minimal abrasions. Consequently, the population of truly premium quality coins represents only a tiny fraction of the original mintage, demonstrating why survival rate often matters far more than production totals. Strike quality plays an equally important role in determining collector value. Because the Philadelphia Mint operated under intense production demands, dies gradually wore during lengthy production runs. As dies aged, fine details in Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the lettering often became less distinct. Collectors actively seek examples displaying unusually crisp strikes with fully defined design elements, because these coins demonstrate superior manufacturing quality. Surface preservation adds another layer of rarity. A quarter that spent decades untouched in an original mint set or carefully stored collection can retain brilliant mint frost and vibrant cartwheel luster, while another struck only seconds earlier may have entered circulation and immediately accumulated distracting contact marks that permanently reduced its collectible appeal. Among specialists, the 1990 Philadelphia Washington quarter is also examined closely for collectible varieties and mint eras. Although no universally famous major variety dominates this date, collectors continue searching for double die varieties showing noticeable doubling in lettering or design elements, die cracks that developed as production dies aged, off-center strikes resulting from improperly positioned planchets, clip planchets created during blanking, broad strikes, struck through errors caused by foreign material between die and planchet, misaligned dies, and dramatic retained cuts. These unusual pieces can command premiums far beyond ordinary circulation values because every error represents a unique interruption in the normal minting process, creating coins that differ significantly from standard production examples. Understanding how these fascinating mint errors occur makes them even more intriguing. Working dies begin their lives through a series of hubbing and die preparation stages designed to transfer every detail of the master design with extraordinary precision. If alignment shifts during hubbing, double design elements may appear. As production continues, repeated impacts gradually weaken the dies until cracks develop, occasionally producing raised lines or larger retained cud errors on finished coins. Off-center strikes occur when a blank planchet fails to align correctly inside the striking chamber before the die's close. Struck-through errors happen when grease, metal fragments, or other debris become trapped between the die and the planchet during striking. By 1990, mint marks were already incorporated directly into the master die rather than punched into individual working dies, eliminating the classic repunched mint mark varieties that are commonly encountered on many earlier United States coins. Many of the most exciting discoveries involve heavily circulated quarters that initially appeared ordinary. A scratched and naturally toned 1990 Philadelphia quarter may attract little attention inside a pocketful of change, yet careful inspection under proper lighting could reveal a significant double die, an impressive die crack, or another desirable production anomaly overlooked for years. Such discoveries remind collectors that circulation damage does not automatically eliminate collectible potential when an important variety or dramatic mint error is present. Numerous valuable error coins spent years moving through everyday commerce before sharp-eyed collectors finally recognized their unusual characteristics, transforming seemingly insignificant pocket change into highly sought-after numismatic treasures. Surface originality has become one of the defining characteristics separating ordinary coins from premium collectibles. Natural tunning develops slowly over decades through gentle environmental exposure, producing attractive shades of gold, blue, violet, or soft gray that many collectors appreciate. Artificial cleaning, however, often leaves unnatural brightness, hairline scratches, or dull surfaces that significantly reduce desirability. Professional grading services carefully evaluate originality, strike, luster, preservation, and overall eye appeal before assigning numerical grades. Authentication is equally important because it confirms both the legitimacy of the coin and any claimed variety or mint error. Registry collectors place enormous trust in certified examples because standardized grading allows meaningful comparison between the finest surviving specimens. Market values for the 1990 Philadelphia Washington quarter vary dramatically depending upon condition and any unusual characteristics. A typical scratched and toned circulated example in fine condition generally trades close to face value unless a recognized variety or mint error is present. Very fine and about uncirculated examples may command modest collector premiums when they display attractive originality. Brilliant mint state examples can range from several dollars into the tens or even hundreds of dollars, depending upon grade, eye appeal, and certification. Next up in the 1982 Philadelphia-Washington quarter is one of those coins that many people overlook because it appears so ordinary at first glance. Countless examples spent decades circulating through cash registers, vending machines, and pockets, gradually becoming scratched, toned, and heavily worn. Yet beneath that weathered appearance, a surprising story unfolds. While most circulated 1982 P quarters remain worth only face value or a small premium, a tiny number possessing exceptional preservation, dramatic minting errors, or scarce die varieties have stunned collectors by selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The excitement surrounding this issue comes from the constant possibility that an old, battered quarter hiding in a coin jar could actually be a remarkable collectible waiting to be recognized. The year 1982 marked a challenging period in the United States economy. Inflation, unemployment, and high interest rates affected millions of Americans, while the nation slowly emerged from recession under the administration of President Ronald Reagan. At the same time, the United States Mint faced significant production pressures as billions of circulating coins were required to keep commerce moving. Washington quarters were being struck continuously for everyday transactions rather than for collectors, meaning speed and efficiency often took priority over perfection. Those production circumstances created an environment where minor die defects, striking inconsistencies, and occasional minting mistakes slipped into circulation, laying the foundation for the rare collectible varieties that specialists continue searching for decades later. The Washington Quarter series itself has one of the richest histories in American numismatics. Introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the design proved so popular that it became the nation's permanent $quarter design. The obverse portrait was created by renowned sculptor John Flanagan, whose depiction of Washington combines strength, dignity, and simplicity. Although the reverse design remained familiar for generations before eventually giving way to the state quarters program, the classic eagle reverse of the 1982 issue continues to symbolize the traditional era of American coinage. Every 1982 P quarter, therefore, represents both a piece of circulating money and a continuation of a design tradition spanning half a century. Examining the design closely reveals why collectors appreciate this series beyond its monetary value. The obverse displays the left-facing portrait of George Washington surrounded by the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 1982, with the small Philadelphia P mint mark appearing to the right of the ribbon. The reverse features a powerful heraldic eagle perched upon a bundle of arrows framed by olive branches, representing America's readiness to defend peace while seeking harmony. By 1982, these quarters were struck on copper-nickel-clad planchets rather than the earlier 90% silver composition that ended after 1964. Although lacking silver content, the craftsmanship and historical symbolism continue to attract collectors worldwide. Official records show that the Philadelphia Mint produced more than 500 million Washington quarters during 1982, making it seem like an extremely common issue at first glance. However, experienced collectors understand that mintage figures alone never determine rarity. The overwhelming majority entered circulation immediately, receiving years of heavy wear that dramatically reduced the number surviving in high-grade condition. Unlike certain other years, relatively few collectors set aside rolls of brilliant 1982 P quarters when they were released, meaning pristine mint state examples are considerably scarcer than the original production numbers might suggest. This difference between total mintage and surviving premium quality coins explains why elite specimens can command surprisingly strong prices. Strike quality represents another important factor separating ordinary coins from extraordinary ones. During 1982, Dies often remained in service for extended production runs, resulting in many quarters displaying soft details, weak hair definition above Washington's ear, or incomplete feather detail on the eagle. Collectors actively pursue examples exhibiting unusually sharp strikes, crisp lettering, and strong luster because they are noticeably less common than average pieces. The survival rate of such premium quality quarters is extremely low compared with the vast number originally struck, creating strong demand whenever exceptionally preserved examples appear on the market. Specialists also devote significant attention to minting varieties and errors found on the 1982 P Washington quarter. Collectors search for doubled dies showing noticeable separation in lettering or date elements, die cracks extending across portions of the design, off-center strikes caused by improperly positioned planchets, clipped planchets, broad strikes, partial collar errors, struck-through errors, and dramatic die breaks. While large date and small date varieties are famous on other coin series, they are not recognized as major varieties for the 1982 P Washington quarter. Instead, authenticated doubled dies and visually dramatic striking errors receive the greatest attention because they represent genuine production anomalies that escaped quality control. Understanding how these fascinating errors occur makes them even more interesting. Every working die begins as a carefully engraved master design before being transferred through multiple hubbing stages to create production dies capable of striking hundreds of thousands of coins. Slight movement during hubbing can produce doubled die varieties, while excessive pressure, fatigue, or repeated impacts eventually create die cracks and cuds. Misaligned planchets entering the striking chamber can generate off-center coins, while foreign material between the die and blank produces struck-through errors. By the early 1980s, mint marks were still being punched individually into working dies, meaning misplaced or repunched mint marks could occasionally occur, although confirmed examples remain uncommon and highly studied by specialists. Ironically, the most valuable discoveries often begin as coins that appear unattractive. A scratched, naturally toned 1982 P quarter pulled from circulation may initially seem unremarkable, yet if it carries a significant doubled die, dramatic off-center strike, or another authenticated mint error, collector interest can increase dramatically. This is why experienced numismatists encourage careful examination before dismissing worn coins. Circulation damage alone rarely creates value, but genuine mint-created varieties can transform an otherwise ordinary quarter into an exciting collectible. Numerous important discoveries have originated from pocket change, estate collections, and forgotten jars of old coins. Surface preservation remains one of the most influential factors affecting value. Natural tunning, acquired over decades, often enhances collector appeal when it displays attractive shades of gold, blue, violet, or amber while preserving the coin's original surfaces. By contrast, harsh cleaning, polishing, or abrasive scrubbing permanently damages the metal and usually reduces collector demand. Professional grading services carefully evaluate originality, strike quality, luster, wear, and surface preservation before assigning a numerical grade. That certified grade provides buyers with greater confidence and explains why two visually similar 1982 P quarters can sell for dramatically different amounts depending upon their certified condition and authenticity. Market values for the 1982 P Washington quarter vary tremendously according to grade and variety. Heavily circulated fine examples generally trade near face value or only modest premiums, while very fine and about uncirculated coins may command slightly higher collector prices if they display attractive originality. Certified mint state examples become increasingly valuable as grades climb into the upper MS levels because surviving populations decline sharply. Authenticated doubled dies, dramatic off-center strikes, major die breaks, and other significant mint errors frequently sell for several $100s, while spectacular examples in exceptional condition have realized several $1,000s at major auctions. Record-breaking specimens achieve those impressive prices because they combine outstanding preservation, rarity, eye appeal, strong provenance, and fierce competition among registry set collectors seeking the finest certified examples available. The remarkable story of the 1982 P. Washington quarter reminds collectors that extraordinary treasures sometimes hide behind the most ordinary appearances. A scratched and naturally toned quarter may never be worth more than its spending value, yet another coin with nearly identical wear could possess a rare variety or spectacular mint error that transforms it into a highly desirable collectible. Registry set competition continues pushing elite certified examples to remarkable auction results because advanced collectors constantly seek the finest known coins for their collections. That enduring pursuit of quality, rarity, originality, and historical significance proves that even a humble United States Washington quarter can become an extraordinary collectible when the right combination of preservation, rarity, and minting history comes together. Next up in the 1993 D. Washington quarter dollar was struck at the Denver Mint during a period when the Washington quarter had already become one of the most recognized circulating coins in the United States. Millions of these coins entered everyday commerce, passing through countless hands in grocery stores, gas stations, banks, and cash registers across the country. Because of its enormous production, most people naturally assumed that every 1993 D quarter would always remain worth only its face value. However, experienced collectors understand that rarity is not determined only by the number of coins produced. The real value often comes from outstanding preservation, exceptional strike quality, rare minting mistakes, and the surprisingly small number of coins that survive in pristine condition decades after they were first released. Even a very dirty example deserves careful examination, because unusual characteristics can dramatically influence its worth. The year 1993 represented an interesting period for American coinage. The economy continued to grow, cash transactions remained a major part of everyday life, and quarter dollars experienced heavy circulation from the very moment they left the mint. The Denver Mint operated with modern production equipment capable of striking millions of coins efficiently, yet no minting process is completely perfect. Minor die wear, deteriorating dies, striking pressure variations, and occasional production mistakes all created subtle differences from one coin to another. As these quarters circulated over the following decades, most became worn, scratched, stained, or covered with dirt, while only a tiny percentage escaped circulation altogether. Those carefully preserved examples eventually became the coins that serious collectors now pursue with enthusiasm, because they represent the finest surviving pieces from an otherwise common year. The design of the 1993 D. Washington quarter dollar continues the timeless artwork that has made the Washington quarter one of the most admired coins in American history. The obverse features the distinguished portrait of George Washington facing left, displaying impressive detail in the hair, facial features, and military-inspired profile when fully struck. Surrounding the portrait are the familiar inscriptions including Liberty, In God We Trust, the date 1993, and the small Denver D mint mark, identifying its place of manufacture. The reverse proudly displays the majestic eagle with outstretched wings perched upon a bundle of arrows framed by olive branches, symbolizing both military readiness and peace. United States of America, EPLUBUS UNUM, and quarter dollar complete the classic reverse design. Even when hidden beneath years of dirt and circulation, these artistic details remain one of the defining reasons collectors continue to admire the Washington Quarter series. Although the 1993 D. Washington Quarter is not considered rare in circulated grades, genuine rarity begins to appear when searching for coins with exceptional preservation or unusual mint errors. Very dirty examples often conceal important characteristics beneath layers of grime, making careful inspection worthwhile before any cleaning is even considered. Professional collectors generally avoid cleaning coins because doing so can permanently reduce collector value. Instead, they examine every detail under magnification while looking for doubled dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, broad strikes, or other genuine mint errors that occurred during production. Coins certified in outstanding mint state grades are significantly more difficult to locate because so few escaped circulation with their original brilliant surfaces fully intact. This dramatic difference in survival rates is one of the reasons why certain examples can become surprisingly valuable despite their large original mintage. Collector demand for the 1993 D Washington Quarter continues to remain strong because the Washington Quarter series has one of the largest and most active collector communities in American numismatics. Many hobbyists build complete date and mint collections, requiring one example from every mint and every year. This steady demand creates lasting interest even for dates that originally appeared common. High-grade certified examples receive especially intense attention because registry-set competitors constantly seek the finest known specimens available. Rare era varieties add another exciting layer of competition, with collectors willing to pay significant premiums for dramatic production mistakes that distinguish one coin from millions of ordinary examples. Even heavily circulated quarters remain popular because they offer affordable entry points into one of the most historic and widely collected coin series ever produced by the United States Mint. When discussing today's market value, condition becomes the single most important factor determining what a 1993 D Washington Quarter dollar is worth. Most heavily circulated and very dirty examples typically trade for only face value or slightly above, generally ranging from 25 cents to around $2 depending on eye appeal and collector interest. Attractive extremely fine and about uncirculated examples often sell between $3 and $15. Certified mint state coins displaying strong luster, sharp strikes, and minimal contact marks commonly reach prices from $30 to more than $150 depending on the assigned grade. Superb gem examples certified at the highest grading levels have sold for several $100s, while exceptionally preserved registry-quality specimens have realized prices exceeding $1,000 at major auctions. Authentic mint-era coins featuring significant production mistakes can also command impressive premiums, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending upon the rarity and visual impact of the era. Anyone searching for a valuable 1993 D Washington Quarter should always concentrate on originality rather than appearance alone. A coin that looks extremely dirty may actually retain untouched surfaces hidden beneath decades of circulation, while a brightly polished coin may have lost much of its collector appeal because of improper cleaning. Professional grading services evaluate strike quality, surface preservation, luster, eye appeal, and overall condition, providing buyers and sellers with greater confidence in the marketplace. Searching through old bank rolls, inherited collections, estate accumulations, coin dealer inventory, flea markets, and forgotten jars of spare change remains one of the most enjoyable ways to discover overlooked Washington quarters. Careful examination under proper lighting with a quality magnifying glass can reveal valuable details that are easily missed during a casual inspection. The story of the 1993 D Washington Quarter dollar reminds collectors that extraordinary value often hides behind the most ordinary appearance. A coin covered with dirt, scratches, and decades of circulation may seem insignificant, yet history has repeatedly shown that exceptional preservation, scarce mint errors, and remarkable auction quality examples can transform an everyday quarter into a highly sought-after collectible. Its rich historical background, timeless design, enduring popularity, and wide range of collectible possibilities continue to attract both experienced numismatists and newcomers eager to begin their collecting journey. The next time a worn 1993 D Washington Quarter appears in a handful of change, it may deserve far more attention than its humble appearance suggests, because within that small piece of American history could rest a surprisingly valuable treasure waiting to be recognized.